So apparently, allegedly, the Britney that we know and love, the Britney of yesteryears, is not the same Britney. So according to those JE files,
so remember that Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake was in a car accident back in 2001, right? And remember that I said there was a radio station that had everyone believing that Britney Spears was dead because they announced it, and then they later got fired, right?
Some roll-up said on her podcast that she thinks Kanye and Britney are clones on social media. So I guess
Los Angeles County, California. He says that he just witnessed Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake in a car accident.
Britney Spears is mentioned in the Epstein files, but I need your help to understand the context of this email.
Is that Dolly the sheep at first looked normal, and at first looked like any other sheep. She actually conceived.
You want to call me crazy? Call me crazy. I've been called worse, but I'm gonna look the part. We were never the conspiracy theorists. I have this all written down. We were the ones that didn't have the blinders.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes. Look at you. Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes. Look at you.
Do something with it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Epstein files are now saying that Britney Spears is cloned. We all wondered, what happened to the London look? Why does she have that gap in her teeth? It's because it's not Britney. The Britney Spears that we have seen, especially recently, is not Britney Spears. Who would put gaps in their teeth if they had...
So apparently, allegedly, the Britney that we know and love, the Britney of yesteryears, is not the same Britney. So according to those JE files, apparently Britney, the Britney that we have been seeing twirling and dancing with knives and everything on social media, on live, it's not the same Britney. And if you have eyes, you can kind of see a lot of differences in Britney. And I know a while back I made a video about when they basically claimed that Britney had passed away in a car accident. It was actually in a Chucky movie that they made reference to what happened to Britney. She was driven off the road. We don't know this to be true, but that Britney had passed away a while back. And apparently a lot of people seem to have some sort of question. People have questions whether or not this is the same Britney, because people are seeing things that just don't make any sense. So let's get into this Britney conspiracy theory. But we all know, y'all know what I say about conspiracy theory. It's only conspiracy until it's proven to be true, because a lot of things have been proven to be true that used to be called conspiracy. So this Britney thing is not very far-fetched, because she has been acting very strange ever since the whole thing where she was basically being kept against her will. As someone who is so popular and so powerful as Britney, and she basically is taking care of a lot of people, I can see why, if, for example, she was unalive, why they would clone her to continue to make money for them. Because one, a lot of these celebrities are worth more dead than alive, but I do believe that Britney was so loved by so many people, even while she was alive, I keep saying while she was alive. According to everybody, according to the internet, she's alive. According to the e-files, she's not. She's a clone. So, in my opinion, when she was alive, if she is still alive, if, the rumors are false, she is worth a lot alive as well as dead. So I imagine if, for example, if she did, God forbid, she did pass away, she probably would be worth a lot more. But Britney has a lot of money and she has a lot of people on her payroll, I'm assuming. So therefore they want to keep her alive. So even when she was in, plus she has a huge fan base that will back her up. And that is one of the reasons why they had the Free Britney thing, is because of her fan base. So I do feel like there's a strange thing going on with the whole Britney thing. So let's get more into the whole files and what they have been saying about Britney being cloned. And they say a lot of things about Selena Gomez being cloned, and I made a video about her a while back. So y'all take a look at that video as well, but let's get into more Britney conspiracy.
Son of a bitch! Yours, asshole! 2001, our hotline rings while we're doing our show on 97.1 The Eagle in Dallas. It's from a friend of ours who's a firefighter for Los Angeles County, California. He says that he just witnessed Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake in a car accident. Gave us a couple of more details. We went on the air, we told the story. Little did we know, we were the only ones that anyone got through to in the media to tell the story. All this happened so quickly. Within 30 minutes, our hotline was ringing from affiliates in Miami, Cincinnati. We got calls from the BBC. We got calls from all over the world. The next thing that happened was our agent, who at the time was Norm Schrut. Norm Schrut is no longer with us anymore. He asked what was going on, what happened. He'd been getting phone calls. We told him the truth. He said, tonight after your show, go home. Do not go anywhere. Do not answer the phone. I'm taking the next flight from Atlanta to Dallas, and I will handle it. Within about 5 hours, Norm showed up and said that we had a flight booked at that moment to go to Los Angeles. We get off the plane in LA. We get in this black SUV looking deal. We drive about probably an hour and a half, 2 hours, and we go into a parking garage, what looked like a parking garage, went down and down and down and down, probably to about the 7th floor beneath the ground. Huge garage door opens up, and what we saw blew our minds. And I have pictures. Sooner or later, on this channel, I will share those pictures of the deceased bodies. You wanted the truth? There's the truth.
Dude, go away.
Just let's get a picture and then we'll leave you guys alone.
Got one.
No, I have one of the two of you guys.
Music, the only real defense mechanism of a pop star.
Now, whatever that lady says about Britney being cloned must have really hit a nerve for her to actually want to talk to her about this. Like, look, let's meet up. When I see you on the streets, it's up from here type stuff, right? You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, if it's not a true statement, you could just ignore, like people ignore everything else. You know, celebrities ignore everything else when it's not a true statement, unless they feel they have to defend something. So in my opinion, it could be very true. And why would this lady say that? I know I talk about the celebrity psychic that I talk about all the time, Boots, and there's a lot of his videos where he'll go to celebrity concerts, and you know he's a psychic, so he can feel energy. He's popular. I mean, when I tell you this man is good at what he does, like he worked with the police department to help solve crimes and everything based on his talents, his gifts, right? So when he make comments about, a lot of time he make comments when he goes to like concerts and stuff, and he can tell like the celebrities are not who they actually are. It's like a clone of them. He talks about Nicki Minaj multiple times, and he used to be so in love with Nicki Minaj, right? Multiple times he goes to concert, he's like, that's not the Nicki that I know. That's not the Nicki. That's Nicki who's on stage is not the same Nicki. And he talks about a lot of celebrities being clones. And he even made a comment about Ari Lennox, and y'all know I love Ari. But they're very close. I'm talking about like to the point where they'll have like Sunday brunch together and all that stuff, right? But he went to one of her concerts, and he knew that was not her. He knew that it was her doppelganger. It was her clone. And also, when this man made the comment about Britney and Kanye being clones, we all have been saying this, that Kanye is giving very much clone. It's giving, you're not yourself. Yes, we can blame it on the pills. We can blame it on the lithiums that she was being given. Yes, it can kind of put you in a daze and, you know, in a space where you're kind of just out of body basically. So it could be that situation, but everybody can be lying. Everybody cannot be lying. You know what I mean? So in my opinion, there's definitely something strange going on with Britney. And yes, I get, like, you know, being on lithium and, you know, not being yourself during those times. But how do you explain the whole teeth changing? And if it's going to be teeth changing, it usually would be to make your teeth look better and not make it look worse, right? And not to say her teeth look bad or anything. But Britney used to have nice straight teeth. Your teeth doesn't just shift. You know, and I get, yes, your teeth can shift depending on, you know, the situation. So for example, I wear Invisaligns. So if I go maybe a day or two or a month or a week without my Invisalign, my teeth will shift back because I had a lot of space in my teeth. So it makes sense. For example, if you had braces, you took them off and you don't wear your retainer like you're supposed to, your teeth can shift. But with Britney's case, you know, she's a celebrity. She always had good looking teeth. She always had straight teeth. How do you explain her teeth looking completely different, her teeth having all this space between them? I mean, explain that to me. Maybe I'm just missing something. And y'all let me know in the comment section if maybe we're all missing something, but it's just giving something is not right with Britney. And I'm gonna find a clip of the Chucky movie when they made the comment, because I posted that in another video, and then I made another video mentioning that, and people were like, we didn't know that she actually passed away in a car accident. Well, it was from that clip, so I'm going to find the clip so I can incorporate it in this video so I can bring you guys' memory. But I just felt like, you know, something is just not cleaning the butter.
Britney Spears is mentioned in the Epstein files, but I need your help to understand the context of this email. This email was sent from Mark Tramo to Jeffrey Epstein back in 2011. And before we even read the email, who is Mark Tramo? He's an adjunct professor at UCLA who specializes in neurology and music-related research. But when you search Mark Tramo, you will also see headlines like this: UCLA professor sparks furor online over emails to Jeffrey Epstein. So of course, I wanted to know what the outrage was over, so I searched his name, 1,091 results, including an email that he sent to Jeffrey Epstein in 2017, and I'll just let you read that PS yourself about what will make babies suck on a pacifier more vigorously. Highly disturbing to me, but let's talk about the Britney Spears mention. Now, in the Epstein files, you can find emails that are duplicates of each other, but different things are redacted. That happened with this email. So in this version, you're going to see this redaction, but another version, that is not redacted. So we'll read this version. Now pause it to read this entire email. I just want to focus on the Britney Spears part together. So starting up here with the salary would free me up. The salary would free me up to write some grants, e.g. my new pal at Universal Music has offered to send Britney Spears the neonatal ICU project I sent the Florida Science Foundation in 2009, since he is her publisher, but time has been prohibiting me from pursuing it. And then what I skipped was parentheses part, and this is the part that was redacted in the other copy. There's a custody issue surrounding her kids. Now, most of us know that there was a custody issue surrounding her kids in 2011 because the conservatorship that she was in for years started in 2008. So let's look at that timeline quickly. This is an article from biography.com that goes through the timeline of Britney Spears' conservatorship. It outlines that her offbeat behavior started in 2007. In 2008, she was hospitalized. And 2008, again, is when the conservatorship started, and she compared it to being in jail. So not only were there custody issues going on at that time, but she also had little to no control over her life, her finances, her contracts, what she was going and doing. She was being controlled like a mannequin. So why would something be sent to her? And especially one of my first questions was, why would Britney Spears be receiving a neonatal ICU project that was previously sent to the Florida Science Foundation? I was always a fan of Britney Spears, but I don't think she has a medical background. So then I did some digging to try to understand why she would be receiving this. So I found Mark Tramo auditory stimulation for premature babies in neonatal intensive care units. And a reminder from who Mark Tramo is, he specializes in neurology and music-related research. So my best guess on what this email really means, Mark Tramo was looking for an investment from Epstein for this project, and he also wanted a celebrity or musician to be the face of it, and he hoped that that would be Britney Spears, even though she was currently living through hell, having custody issues, and so much more. So my guess is that when he says they're going to send it to Britney Spears, they mean whoever was controlling what Britney Spears did and did not do. But the fact that it's coming from Mark Tramo, who also has that email about pacifiers, I don't know. I wanted to bring it to you. Tell me if you get a different summarization of what this is about. If you know more than I do, very likely, let me know your
You want to call me crazy? Call me crazy. I've been called worse, but I'm going to look the part. We were never the conspiracy theorists. I have this all written down. We were the ones that didn't have the blinders on. And then we were labeled as crazy. Okay? Hi, I have my degree in social media studies. I know for a fact. What the fuck? Sorry. I know for a fact they sprinkle truth in every bit of media. Okay? So, stick with me because I got a lot to talk about, okay? It's all on my iPad. I got a lot to talk about. We're going to start with the Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake accident in 2001. Okay, what was going on before all that? What video were we all specifically watching in science class? Cloning Dolly the Sheep. We weren't watching that because they wanted us to know what technology could progress to in the future. We were watching that in the 90s and 2000s to know the technology they have. They have the technology to clone people. They've had it since before Dolly the Sheep. Okay, let's move on now. Let's talk about the missing kids on the milk cartons in the 80s. I don't think any of those fucking kids were missing. I think those kids were being trafficked to Epstein's Island. Got milk? Do you got milk? Let's look at all the celebrities that were participating in that fucking trend. And then we're gonna move on to the Wayfair furniture scandal that happened like 2 years ago. Everybody called me fucking crazy when I said they're selling kids through Wayfair. They were selling kids through Wayfair. Come on, guys. And then let's talk about JonBenet Ramsey, the pageant queen. You know that picture? Ghislaine Maxwell is in her birthday party. They knew Jeffrey Epstein. That little girl did not get killed. She was fucking trafficked. She was eaten. Whatever they're doing. Come on, guys. Now let's talk about Jeffrey Epstein's fucking body. I've only ever seen one dead body my entire life, and that was my great-grandpa. I had the privilege of being the first one in the funeral home to view him. You know what? His color was not that fucking bright. He wasn't that pigmented. It drained from his face within a matter of hours. And then, on top of that, I have a morbid curiosity, so I asked the funeral home director, how do you keep his mouth shut? They wired it shut. Jeffrey Epstein's mouth was not fucking wired shut in that picture. He was holding it shut because he was still alive, okay? Now let's talk about the last video I made. You know about that movie with Pete Davidson called The Home? You know what they were doing in that movie? Taking pineal glands from people and using them as the fountain of youth. That's what the fountain of youth is. It's in us all. That's why the ancient Egyptians were so fucking advanced. They knew what the pineal gland was. They knew how to use it. They knew how to learn from it. They knew how to grow it. They didn't need to harvest other people's pineal glands because they had their own fucking pineal gland. The fountain of youth is in us all. Now let's talk about the 9 to 5 fucking clock. That was made to put us on a schedule. Hold on. It's to keep us from living under the sun and understanding the moon. The 24-hour clock was made to age us. I mean, even Prince talked about it. That man never celebrated his birthday because your birthday doesn't happen every year. You're not reborn every fucking year on the day. No. You have your set birthday. It happened once in your life. One time in your life you were born. Collect myself. Now let's talk about some of the celebrities they've labeled as crazy for actually telling us what's going on. You know Tara Manning from the Cleveland abduction or Orange is the New Black? Drink the pink stuff. They wanted me to drink the pink stuff. Then they labeled her as crazy. What the fuck is the pink stuff they wanted her to drink? Our plasma. Our plasma is pink. Come on, guys. Even Justin Bieber put it in his video. Yummy, yummy, yummy. He's talking about them eating fucking kids because he was inclined with Diddy. He knew all that shit. They sprinkle a little bit of truth in front of us all, and then they laugh in our fucking faces. Think of it. Tara Manning had nothing to gain from publicly telling us that. She lost everything. She was labeled as crazy. Okay, I'm not an expert. I'm more of a conspiracy theorist than I am educated, to be honest, but I do have my degree in social media studies. I know what I'm talking about because I've seen it, I've experienced it, and I've learned from it. I'm not the fucking crazy one here. You're the crazy ones for not seeing the truth right in front of you.
Of yours. My favorite music video is probably Slave. Yeah.
The first question that you mainly ask me is what my favorite song is. My favorite song is Toxic that I have done.
My favorite video to shoot was Toxic.
And what's my favorite flower? It's a rose.
Laura from Orlando asks, what is your favorite type of flower? My favorite type of flower, I love morning glories and I love lilies.
My favorite restaurant is Mastro's just because I love a steak and baked potatoes. My stomach is so sensitive. If I have a steak, I'll be sick for 3 days.
You're kidding me.
Mm-hmm.
What would you tell that Britney from 20 years ago?
I would tell that Britney just to believe in yourself and never doubt yourself and be
A lot of people were telling me in my last post that Britney Spears just looks different because of aging. Let's compare. Yes, these two women look very, very similar. But there's a few things that I'm confused about her teeth. Now, people were saying things like, well, her veneers could have fallen off, or her teeth have shifted because of aging. This is what your teeth look like when your veneers start falling off. Or this, because usually it damages the tooth underneath. Or this, you look like a shark. I've never seen anybody's veneers fall off and they have perfectly white teeth underneath that weren't shaved down. It's weird. Maybe she got bonding, but still, when the bonding comes off, it usually takes a part of the tooth with it. I've had it happen myself. See what I mean? We all remember when this happened. There's another thing. Do your eyebrows normally go from brown to blonde when you age? Gray, yeah, but blonde? I don't think so. My eyebrows actually got darker as I aged, which I know is not common, but I've never seen them go from brown to blonde like that. Her lips. Let's talk about those. They do look very similar, and she does sort of have this same curve over here that she does over there. But it does look like she's either had some Botox or something. Just the way it curves, I don't know. Her lips are weird now. Somebody like Britney could easily go get these things fixed. And you'd think that she would want to, especially with everybody talking. She has the money to do whatever the hell she wants. And she's gonna walk around like that? I'm just not buying it. I think they found a lookalike and they're using that. Or it's freaking AI. But I really do think that they found a lookalike. And they want everybody to think that Britney's crazy. So far they've been doing their job by convincing everybody that. But I'm not convinced. And I even asked ChatGPT if these two women were the same. And it couldn't even give me a straight answer. Even AI doesn't know. It's weird. I mean, I know things happen. She's traumatized. I get that. And maybe the medications that she was on. But the whole teeth and eyebrow thing, it's weird. And when you start getting in and reading about Lou Taylor and the Kardashians and Britney's money and all of that, this stuff starts making you question things. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below and hit the follow button for more, guys.
On another episode of Where the Fuck's Britney Spears, let's talk about the night before the VMAs and the P. Diddy trial. If you're a fan of Britney Spears, you probably know that she partied and hung out with a lot of these celebrities the night before her Gimme More performance back in 2007. Many people have alleged that P. Diddy may have had an effort in trying to sabotage Britney Spears' performance that year by possibly putting something in her beverage. This also was the night that allegedly P. Diddy made some inappropriate advances towards Cassie. Cassie and him were not dating at the time, and this happened to be her birthday party. Now, here's some looks at the performance. Now, in my opinion, she looked beautiful, but she obviously was not on her typical Britney Spears performance game level like she typically would be. Now, with the trial and everything coming out this week and more celebrities being named, I find it very interesting that Dallas Austin is being named as one of the celebrities that are going to be brought into the Diddy trial. Now, in what way, whether he's a witness to something or whether he himself had some involvement, I don't know. But all I'm saying is I find it very coincidental. More and more names are coming out of people that are possibly involved that were right there with Britney that night. That all combined with the continuous posting of beverages on her page. I don't know. I feel like something big's coming and we're about to find out.
Have you guys heard about this? Kristen Cavallari says Britney Spears reached out after she said she was a clone. Apparently, in Kristen Cavallari, I can't say her name because of my Invisalign, doesn't roll off, said on her podcast that she thinks Kanye and Britney are clones on social media. So I guess Britney got wind of that, called whoever, and was like, can you give me your number? And then Kristen's publicist was like, hey, I guess he wants your number. And she was like, Britney Effin Spears? So they did a group message between managers, publicist, and the talent to clear up whatever was said. But Kristen won't repeat what the text was. But Kristen says she then side texted her, like, hey, girl, I'm not in LA a lot, but when I am, we should hang out. And Britney effing ghosted her. I guess they met at Britney's meet and greet, but if you read Britney's book, Britney hated her meet and greet, so she was probably on Adderall and God knows what else when this happened. She probably doesn't remember meeting her. Like, who is this blonde? Maybe Britney wasn't a fan of the Hills, or the OC, or why can't I think of Laguna Beach? I don't think Britney's a clone. I think she just uses weird filters and does weird things on social media. Do you think Britney's a clone?
Is that Dolly the sheep at first looked normal and at first looked like any other sheep. She actually conceived and had 6 offspring, but prematurely her body began to break down and she died at about 50% of the lifespan of her species. And they thought, well, maybe this is a one-off, maybe it's a fluke. They've done a lot of experiments, other sheep, and now they're doing this bovine cows as well. Same thing is happening. Their bodies prematurely break down and they succumb to really strange diseases that are not typical, either for that species or for that age in the species. And they can't figure out why. And they're saying, okay, we took a cell, and now here's another identical cell. Why wouldn't they live the identical life? It's not the identical cell. And this is where I think science is going to have to come to terms with this. So at the risk of too much detail, let me just go into a little bit of detail about how a clone actually works. It's fascinating. Because what they'll do is they'll take the egg from one sheep, for example, and they will remove the DNA in the nucleus and put in the DNA of another sheep into that nucleus and allow it to grow. Here's what they don't tell you.
Or why can't I think of Laguna Beach? I don't think Britney's a clone. I think she just uses weird filters and does weird things on social media. Do you think Britney's a clone? Let me know in the comments.
So we're going to touch up some stuff on this book. So in this book is called Spell of Abundance, Love, Wealth, and Protection. So in this book, on the first page, actually, I have a glamour affirmation that you will basically say, you stand in front of the mirror and you stare at yourself and you admire yourself and you will say to yourself how beautiful you are. You'll basically seal your beauty, like your glam, after you've done your makeup, or even stand in front of the mirror naked with nothing on, so you can really reaffirm yourself of your beauty, of your confidence and all that. This book is mainly for like self-confidence and self-elevation, calling the goddess in you, calling the divinity in you, calling the beauty in you, and also work with the moon, because the moon represents the woman, the mother, water, all of this. So yeah, I have all the steps in here of all the spells that you need to. It has one to get rid of unwanted guests. It's pretty funny. To get rid of unwanted guests. And this book right here, right? So I'm gonna run down real quick about the materials that you're going to need. You will need a brand new broom. It has to be brand new. And you will need a piece of parchment paper, a black pen, a black trash bag, because we're going to get rid of this sucker, right? And of course your intentions. And also I have spells on here that you can say. I have daily affirmations I have spells on here that you can do every single day to work with the energy of the planets of the day and also the archangels that work with the day. So anyways, there's so many spells. There's a 7-day manifestation spell with archangels, and let's see, a 30-day money spell with bay leaves and the Fihu sign, which is a money sign. It's like an F with the extra part. Anyways, the symbol is there, and I even show you like what you need to do, what the sigil looks like, all that, and the keys to enhance your spell. So there are different things on here on how to enhance your spell, and basically